Happy Sunday, guys. I am gonna paint my nails. It's Sunday morning, and I'm gonna do birthday nails. My birthday's coming up this week, and so I want to do an emerald manicure. In my spring seasonal rack video, I'd mentioned that I wanted to wear this polish and possibly top it over with this. Since then, my manicure idea has changed, but I want to go over some of the, contenders, I guess I can say. So these two, I was thinking of putting Revlon Posh as a base. This is an emerald green cream. And the color to me looks very much like a natural emerald stone. It's really, really beautiful, or you can consider this also a jade green. And initially I was thinking of pairing it up with this polish from Orly, and it's called Starfire. This is a multi-shifting foil flaky topper. Let's see if I can get this opened. I'll put the timestamp up on the screen of when this video is going to start. But this is a topper, and the flakes reflect some fuchsia, green, gold. There's a little bit of blue, so the combination of the blue with the green has leans a little bit teal in some lights. It's just really, really pretty. I did test this out on a nail wheel. So this one right here, this is what it looks like with those two combined, which I think is really beautiful. And the goal was to mattify it. It's inspired by a manicure I did years ago, well over 5 years now. I'll put it up on the screen. I'll have to go into my Instagram to search for that. It was a gorgeous combination of an emerald green shimmer, much darker than Posh, but I topped it over with KB Shimmer's Off Tropic. This is a rainbow flaky topper, and you get a multitude of colors, far more colors than Starfire. But if you can see here on the nail, this is one coat of Starfire, and this is one coat of Off Tropic. Both cover the nail well at first coat, but definitely more loaded with Starfire. It's just really, really pretty. The next manicure I was thinking of doing is combining this with a sheer pink, and maybe even topping this over, which is where this little nail came in. I thought that was really pretty. But changed my mind about that, about the topper at least, because, and let me turn this off so you can see a little bit better. Yesterday I searched emerald green spring manicure ideas. I just want to share my thought process here. So if you guys want to paint your nails with me, hopefully this will make for a lengthy video, and I'll keep you company throughout the entire ritual. When I went onto Google Images, I searched emerald green spring manicure ideas. A lot of the manicures that came up had a combination of the green, the gold, and a white, or even like this one. This was really beautiful, which is what inspired me to pull, the sheer pink here, Sugar Daddy from Essie, because I thought that would look really beautiful and do some kind of design, which is where these little flowers came in. I am not my hand is not as steady to do these kind of leafy designs. It looks like they added some embossed flowers, which is so cute. I love that. It's so beautiful. So I then came up with but I found this image where it had the floral design, and I got to thinking. I was wearing a jumpsuit yesterday, and I thought, gosh, I should pull out my decals. This is the jumpsuit that I had on. The base color obviously is going to be different because I am going to use the emerald green, but because I saw the floral print on it, I figured the decals that I have, the transfers that I have, would work well for a manicure this coming week. So I brought out these transfers from Macari. I bought them a long time ago off of Amazon. If I can still find them in my store history purchase, I will link them down below for you guys. It will not be affiliate. My links are never affiliate. So I was thinking about a couple of these, considering a couple of these. And one of the ones that I was considering was this beautiful design. It's pastel. It has a little peach, little flowers that lean a little yellow. The roses are soft, more pastel shades, right? But when I put them over top of Sugar Daddy, I found that the roses were a little too close in color to the base. But looks really great over top of Posh. Look at how pretty. It's beautiful. So opted out of this one. That would be this particular design. The next one, which is probably the pattern that I've used the most, I thought to pair this up together. I just love that it's a little bit brighter. Let's pair them up together so you can see the difference in color. This is a little bit brighter. It has a little bit more of a purple tone added in, yellow, orange. The green is also brighter than the leaves on this particular pattern. So every time I pull for this transfer kit, I end up using this one for some reason. I just really love the color story. I put lotion on my hands, so I'm just gonna wipe off the lotion off my nail here so it doesn't bubble up on me. That's just alcohol. I have a little owie somewhere here that hurt. I put lotion on because my eczema is acting up. I think you can kind of see it here. I'm in the healing process. It's peeling stages, and but I still have, you can see where I had a big old patch here that was peeling, and then I had a little owie here where it creases here just split open. That was painful. So all right, so as you can see, my nails are short right now. Let me turn this on. Broke a nail because I was opening up my sparkling water and my soda cans using my thumb, and I know better, and yet I still continue to do it. And finally the nail gave in. And I think it was last weekend I noticed that I couldn't tell if it was the polish that had cracked, but usually when that happens it's because there's a break in the nail. But when I removed the polish, it was late at night, I was tired too, I couldn't find the break, and I didn't want to tug too hard on the nail, and so I painted the nails. And then the next day the polish split again, and so I knew that I needed to either cut the nails or repair them when I got home, and finally decided I was just going to cut them down because I'm busy at work right now and I do not want to be babying that nail. Base coat I'm using is the Nail Aid Biotin Ultimate Strength. Someone asked my favorite base coats for longer lasting manicures because they noticed that my manicures last a while, and they do. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that I don't have wearability issues. Polish really does tend to stick to my nails. With the exception of a couple, it's really rare. A couple of polishes have chipped quickly on me. I have found though that this is awesome for those polishes that chip quickly on me. But again, you know, it's not something that's common. While this dries, another couple of base coats that I really love. I have them all up here. Let me see. I love the one from OPI. This is their natural nail base coat. I like how thin it is. I also use this one a lot, which is the rubberized base coat from Orly. It's the Orly Bonder. and the C&D sticky base. These are practically the same thing. They're sticky bases, so they adhere well to the nail and they stay sticky. So you have to put something over top of, you know, top it over with either a top coat or a polish color, whatever. And the polish really does adhere to these bases. And these are really thin as well. So I like that. I like that because I add quite a bit of layers to of polish, like not only polish but also top coat to the nails. So if I can get the base coat super thin, really happy about that. I'm trying to figure out where to put this. I'm using my phone to record. I am going to be using a new editing system this time around. Pray for me. I hope it works out. Because yesterday when I recorded this paint your nails, the settings on my phone was in HDR or something like that, and the new editing system that I'm using, it doesn't support it or something. I don't know. I'm not a big techie person. It took me pretty much all day to figure out, and then it wasn't wanting to upload to YouTube. Learning, you know, trying to learn a new device is not my favorite thing. I just want simplicity. I don't want anything complicated. I hope this lighting is good. Let's see. I think this color is coming off a little bit more dull, but well, as I get a little closer, it's a little bit better. So let's see if we can go like this and then brighten it up a little bit because I don't want it to be too dark. So finally this morning I figured it out. I am not the most patient person. My husband is was so thoughtful. He got me a new net laptop so it's compatible with my phone, so it makes recording and uploading just a little bit more convenient for me. I don't mind bringing out the camera, but to do this face down setup is just easier for me because I have stuff that I can use for my phone to do the face down. And for my camera, it's a little too heavy, and this tripod that I have just doesn't support the weight. And so anyways, with the new laptop, the new editing system comes with it. Transferring files is a lot easier because I have an Android, and for, I don't know, how old is my laptop? It's as old as my little ones. My youngest, which is about going on 14 years. I'm so used to iMovie. I enjoy iMovie because it's simple. It's easy to use. I don't need fancy editing. My least favorite part of making videos is the editing, really. It's what takes time, for me at least. I'm hoping this new editing system that it comes with this laptop is friendly. It's called Clipchamp. Has some good reviews, but also has some, you know, negatives. This polish is so good. Look at the coverage at one coat. It's so good. And this color, wow, I'm not picking up enough. Am I running low on this polish? Am I gonna have to tilt it? I have had it a while, but the bottle is so opaque I can't see how far down I am. I don't think though that I've used it enough to be halfway through, I'm sure. Because I do go back and forth between this one and Emerald Bay from China Glaze. And then now I have one from OPI that I bought years ago. It's not new, but it's the newest out of this color. And so I go back and forth between the three. Let me steady my hand here. Look at that coverage. You really can do one coat. It's a one coat wonder. It's great. And I find this color to be a very universal color. You can wear it year round, any season. Why did I do that? I painted all 4 nails. Oh my God. I forgot. All right, back at it. I removed the green and then added a base coat. We're gonna go in with Sugar Daddy. Oopsie, that's what I get for yapping and not paying attention. Sugar Daddy is awesome, by the way. I've talked about it many times. I'm tempted to get another bottle just because this one is now getting a little more opaque than I want it to be. When I initially got it, it was a wash of just that soft pink color on the nail, which is what I loved about it. Used it oftentimes as a base for a design, as a toe color, if I want something very natural. And it's just really beautiful. I love this. Or better yet, I should say, usually I add about 3 coats of this one, but because we're gonna add transfers, and the transfers will cover up a lot, there's negative space still, but I don't need this to be perfect. I also don't need Revlon Posh to be perfect. The transfers will do a lot of the work, which I love. Okay, so plenty of time has passed, so I'm gonna add a second coat of Posh, and I want you guys to see, hopefully this doesn't distort this image, but maybe once I get to my thumb, I want you to see how it goes on just a little bit lighter. Oh man, that was messy. I don't want to get too messy because green is a little bit of a pain to remove just because it stains. So I remove that with my cuticle remover. Okay, this little tool that I use. Okay, let me see. I think my nails were still a little too, maybe they still had a little moisturizer because I'm getting a little bit of bubbling, but again, that's okay. The transfers will cover up a lot of that. Apply a coat on one side of the nail so you guys can see. See? It dries just a little bit darker. You know what I did today? I broke my new crystal nail file from OPI. I was cleaning this desk and I set some things on the chair and then I sat on the chair and I broke it. I have not owned that crystal nail file for more than a month and a half, I think, maybe about a month. Yay. I always break them. And I keep buying them because they're still worth it. I love them. I think I'm going to go in with a second coat of Sugar Daddy. And try not to mess up my thumb here. Okay. And then after this, I'll have to let this dry a while because when we add the transfers, we do need to add just a little bit of pressure to the nails. So I do need the base to be pretty dry. So when I usually do this, it's either because I know I'm setting aside a good chunk of time that same day, or what I like to do is that I will paint my nails a base color one day And then the next day I will do the transfers just to make sure that they are fully dry. And sometimes all I'll do is just add one coat of the base just to freshen it up if it needs it, but oftentimes it's not, you know, it's not a big deal. Again, the transfers cover a lot. I love them. It's such an easy way for us. Like, I can't draw like that, you know. I can't see tiny details like that. And so the transfers come in handy. My nails are pretty dry. Let's pray. So let's get into the little transfers. And I think this one's good to use. I'll use some of these that have still, maybe not the larger roses, but the smaller ones to fill in some spaces if I need to. But I will need to cut a couple of these off. And I'm gonna do, let's go right here, this one, because there's a lot of smaller designs that I can use to fill in spaces. And then I'll cut this one off. And let's do this smaller piece, just so I can get to these bigger pieces. Okay, yesterday when I did these transfers, I did just one hand with the adhesive. I think I'm gonna do, or I put the adhesive on all of my, all of my nails on one hand. But I think instead what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do maybe 2 nails at a time. And it's time for me to replace this adhesive because it's gotten just a tiny bit chunky. So as you can see, this goes on white, and once it's ready, once it's ready, it's gonna be clear. Make sure I get a good amount of that on the nail. Get it all the way to the edge so it can capture the whole thing. To remove these transfers, all you need is nail polish remover. They come off very easy. No special tools required. And I think you guys can see some of the chunks here. Let's get some of that off. And you can see this nail is almost fully dry. Let me see which design I'm gonna add to this nail. I think I want, let's see. These are too slim, so not that one. I think I'm gonna do something like that. I like aligning the design first. I think I'm gonna put it right there. I want to make sure it covers the entire nail, because once you set it, it adheres. So you want to make sure where you lay it, that's where it's gonna stay. And if you can see, sorry, my dogs are going nuts because my kids and my husband are home. I'm dropping off my other kiddo to her job. If you can see, the colors look a little bit more saturated here, and then once they go on the nail, you see how it dulls down a little bit. Once it transfers over, it dulls down. So let me try to get this aligned, not aligned, but to adhere well. And initially it's not gonna look like there's a lot going on, but once the top coat is added, it will, all the colors come to life. Okay, so I'm gonna do, I think, this next design. Let's put that, I kind of want this. I want this rose, but I also want that one. Put it right there. The tool comes in handy in really smoothing it out, but I find that it doesn't add as much pressure as I would like, which is where the nail comes in. Just removing any bubbles. If it looks, initially, if it looks a little distorted, or there's some, maybe some images didn't adhere well, it's okay. It's not gonna be as noticeable once you top coat it. And then if there's some areas where I feel like maybe it didn't grab on as well, I can go back in with a little bit more. Okay. This one, I think I want some of these little leaves. So I'm gonna lay it right here. While that's doing its thing, I'm gonna add some of this adhesive to this nail. Do that. Okay. I've been looking for a sunflower design of these type of transfers, but I have not come across one that I love. I love sunflowers, it's my favorite flower. And I may do, I don't know if this is gonna be too, maybe that's too much of a gap there. Do right here. Yeah, I think doing a couple of nails at a time is better. The adhesive doesn't dry, but for some reason, some areas did not want to grab on as well. I don't know if it's because I let it sit too long. And then I like to make sure to go right at the edge of my nail to make sure to capture everything. If you see here, see this little area? What I'm gonna do there is I'm gonna add a little design there. Maybe even here too. just gonna add something else to that. The beauty of it is that you can keep layering as you please and just customize it. You don't have to stick to the layout it has going on because everything's pretty scattered. So if you want to keep layering, you can do that. I love this more than, oh God, that's really sticky. I love this more than stamping. I just think it's, I mean, stamping is pretty easy, but I like this more. I'm going to show you guys a couple of nail designs I've used these transfers on, just so you guys can see those too. I think for the most part, I use the same. I think I use the same transfer. I can't remember now. I know I've used at least one manicure I have with the same transfer. And I've used it over top of a holographic polish. Works really well. Sheer pink always works well. I like this over the grain when I did it yesterday, but the colors were more subtle, and you'll see it once I although it, I mean, it's visible here, it does the top coat does brighten it up, but it's still very subtle compared to the sheer pink. You see the design a little bit more. Okay, we're needing something here. So I was saying that I find these to be a lot easier than stamping, and the reason is because you can grab this particular, let's say, design, and there's already a color combination for you. So if you want to do a Skittles mani of some sort, you can find inspiration from the color story that's going on here, and then lay this on two of your nails, or an accent nail if you like. I don't know, I just really like these. The part that saddens me about not having long nails at the moment is that I was really looking forward to doing the pink French tip, and although I can do that on short nails, and I do enjoy short nails, I really wanted to wear that manicure on longer nails. So I may actually have to revisit, not revisit, but maybe do that manicure sometime in the summer is what I'm thinking. I think beginning to end this manicure, because you got to let the base dry, right? So good, maybe hour and a half maybe. Got to reserve a little time there. This could be never ending, guys, because when you start looking and you start thinking of where else can you add something. I think right here. I just don't want to forget where I'm adding the adhesive. Right there. For top coat, I'm going to use Seche Vite. And someone asked me recently if my bottle gets thick once it gets towards the bottom. The answer is yes. But if I have a bottle that has a little left and I have space in the new bottle, I'll start pouring whatever's left on the older bottle into the new bottle so I don't waste any of it. And I don't know if my camera is capturing the design coming to life. But I'll show you. Let's see. Let's do this hand first. I have to do a little cleanup on that top coat. I'm not steadying my hand, but I want you guys to see the design come to life. It looks messy initially, but once you add the top coat, it just makes all the difference. And the colors become more vibrant. And even if you did a little patchy patch work, you can't tell. And although the base on this nail is dark, you can still see the design come to life. Wow, I'm really super messy with the top coat. Yeah. I think I may just save on the cleanup process here and just show you the end result once I'm done, because this video is gonna be long. Do you see how it comes to life? Ugh. It is so pretty. If you don't do cleanup, I do highly encourage, if you have a little extra time, because it does make all the difference. It's worth it to take those extra few minutes. You know, I've already spent the time to paint my nails, might as well take the time to clean them right up so they look, I just think they look better, but personal preference at the end of the day. So, and really whatever you have time for. When I get a little close to the nail, if I find that the polish has collected or built up a little bit, I don't like dragging my brush. I like pressing in, getting as close as possible. Like here on this corner here, it seems to have collected a little bit. And then if polish has come under the nail, I like to go from under the nail and pull it towards me, pull the brush towards me. So under the nail, and it'll catch some of that, so it'll make it a little bit more crisp. Hands are still looking a little bit greasy, but this is the finished design. That's so pretty. Look at that. That's really pretty. Some of these look a little mishmashed, but they still blend in well.